out here from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And it's Independence Day, man. Independence Week, Independence Day. And it got me thinking, and I like doing these synchronistic videos about times in my life during the same time of year, things that happen. Because I know there's connection, there's synergy between the things, man, that happened the same time. And well, this same day, 12 years ago, I went to Naval Special Warfare Sniper School, SEAL Sniper School. I was a new guy, and it was a gift. That is a gift as a new guy. You're stepping in front of older guys, some guys who at my team, at Team 7 specifically, there was guys coming back from 11-month deployment in Afghanistan. And well, we had a shoot off, and well, I took the spot. That's how it was. So off we went. Atterbury, Indiana is where we ended up. Well, I should say there's a 2-week course called PIC, which is, photo image capture. And that was challenging. So a lot of being a sniper is reconnaissance. So some of that was taking pictures, and there's a lot of technical side to taking pictures, people that know, especially in the field. You're sending back pictures from a laptop in a bush back to a command and control station. It's challenging. You're doing it with radios and frequencies and satellites, man, and there's a lot of nerd alert shit going on. And it's fucking hard. Not to mention taking pictures at night and trying to get people's pictures. It's challenging. So that's a 2-week course. Then we head off to Atterbury, Indiana. It was a base which is technically a reserve base, an Army reserve base, but interior of that base, there's a small little compound which was surrounded by barbed wire on the interior of the base, and that was the SEAL sniper little compound area where we launched from. And that was cool. It was about 20 guys who were in the course, 10 from the East Coast, 10 from the West Coast. We had a couple guys from development group in there also. And I was nervous. I was nervous going in there as a new guy, but I was stoked on the Gucci gear. I was stoked on the situation, man, getting the ghillie suit ready. And there was an energy in the air about sniper school. Man, it's sexy too, man. SEAL sniper, man. It's cool. Let's be quite honest. It'll always be cool, man. And being a sniper's fucking cool. There's just no way around it. What will we shoot it? Well, we're doing the base, the bread and butter is that 300 bolt action Win Mag. In this course, at this specific time, we also had a SCAR heavy sniper variant, 7.62 semi-automatic sniper variant SCAR. And then also we were shooting the 50 cal, the pig, man. We started on that bolt action, that 300 Win Mag. That thing drives nails, man. Drives nails. So, there's a little picture of me shooting that bolt action, that 300 Win Mag, just before this started. And on the thumbnail of this video. Starts with the 200, then moves to the 400, the 600 to 800, and then we were shooting out further than that, but we were really only tested out to, I believe, 1,000 and some change maybe on the 300 Win Mag. Stalking. We'll get back to the snaps and movers and the stalking. Man, I love stalking. Stalking in the woods. And I'm not a country boy, man. Don't let the overalls fool you, man. When in Rome, I'm in Idaho right now. Stalking really came naturally to me. Understanding dead space. Understanding angles. Man, understanding your terrain. Understanding how not to waste your time trying to veg up when you're going to be moving to a different bush, and man, then you don't blend in, right? Taking how I had my setup, I had like one of those hunting fanny packs. I always try to go light, man. I bring minimal water. It was so hot. It was summertime. It was so hot and humid. I would freeze Gatorade in the night before in a little freezer. Freeze Gatorade, put it in the thing, and just let it kind of soak and suck on. I'll get down to the water situation in a minute. And there's multiple stock fields. You change stock fields. We would do a couple that were just kind of warm-up ones in a line. Then we had some 360 stocks. Then we had some more challenging ones. It is 4 hours, start, you get moving, guys fan out. Everybody's got their game plan. It goes in, and it always turns into just an event, man. And it's an evolution for sure. And you're coming in, trying to be systematic, and then you end up rushing at the end. Or at least that was the case for me in a few stocks. My whole game plan going into stock was get as much distance as possible and get as close as possible using as much dead space without having to veg up hardly at all. Then I would kind of start getting low. I would start taking big branches and just put them right in, because what you're worried about is the silhouette. Humans look really unique in the woods just because of the head and neck area. So you want to break that up with bushes and fan out. That's mostly, I would just veg up my head, my boonie cover, and the front of my gun. And I would use a tripod often. I would set my tripod up, veg up the tripod heavy. Then you don't have to veg up your body heavy. That was my philosophy. Some guys went even lighter, man. Some guys didn't even wear the full ghillie suit. They just wore a viper shawl, which was cool. Some guys would just wear a hat, man. Some of the country boys that would go super light. That was fun, man. That was a good time. Now, let's get into some of the shooting tests. Some of the shooting tests, man. I went to test 3 on that 300 Win Mag. I was worried, and we had some of the big wigs behind us watching the test. You know, guys from those upper elite units coming to scope it out, and they would drop some knowledge on us, man. They would drop some knowledge, man, being in tears, saying, "Hey, man," talking about setting up correct sniper hides and in interior buildings, and blacking out correctly, and because they've had teammates die, friends die, just because of this or this small thing or that flash or not paying attention to this. Man, it's real. There's some poignant moments in sniper school because it's a personal thing. It's very personalized, man. There's something, it's raw about it. It's slow. It's methodical. It requires quiet. There's a lot of thought that goes involved. It's strategic. So there were some serious lessons learned because you're setting up in urban hide sites, blacking out rooms, man, taking over apartments and shooting from 2 rooms back through cracks in doors. It gets involved, man, and so you need somebody that knows, and there was some serious experience. That's what I was really grateful to be able to rub shoulders with some guys at that top end, and they've been operating at that level for years. Guys you'll never hear about who are the real deal, the real cheese. Now, coming down to those snaps and movers tests, what is it? So you start at 200, you'll shoot a static target. You have your partner calling wind too. Man, sniper school is really, it's a spotter school. You better have a good spotter, because if you don't have a good spotter that can't call wind, can't see your trace, it's almost impossible, because you can't see your own trace. You can't call in your own round. What they're doing is they're looking at the lens from behind. They want to see the trace of the round. And ideally, if you're a guy, and this is the importance of the shooter, you got that consistent trigger pull. You can shoot consistently and call your shots, hey, where you pulled it, because nobody's dead on every time. If you know you pulled it 10 o'clock, 2.5 minutes, 7 o'clock, 1 minute, whatever, they know, okay, if he's shooting consistently and that's where he should have shot, then I know what his win call should be, and then they can call you onto the target. That's that team element. Both people have to be firing on all cylinders, and both people have to be honest and capable. If you're not capable and honest, you're fucked as a sniper pair. So that was beautiful, because I had a really good guy who was a talent, better than me, talent as a shooter, and I could call him because he was consistent on his shots and how he pulled, and he was always very honest. And he was could call wind well and could see the trace of the round. You shoot at 200, then you shoot the snaps and movers. There's pop up, go down. And then there's also a mover. Now those movers, a lot of people who don't know, long range shooting, what the most external force on the round is the wind. And at least how we shoot in the special operations community, we hold wind, we don't dial wind. So we hold wind and we dial elevation. So you'll dial your elevation. Some things are calculations and what you got to do. There's a little bit of math involved. And then we're going to hold wind because it's fast, much more rapid for target acquisition. You can't be dialing wind and elevation. It'd be almost impossible for a quick target acquisition. So, a re-engagement. You go 200, then you go to 400, then 600, then 800. That's how we worked it, at least on the 300 Win Mag. I believe we only tested out to 800. I might have misspoke before, said 1,000. We would shoot out past, right, just as more of a test, but we were tested out to 800. Then on the sniper variant, on the semi-automatic SCAR, we shot out to 6, tested out to 6. That's just it's a little bit lighter round. It's not going to hold as tight. It's not a bolt action, right? That there's some difficulties in that, and with that, and the pig, the 50 cal, that's its own animal. We were shooting HE, high explosive rounds at targets. That's a beast, man. I love that gun. I brought that gun. I would carry that gun in Iraq. It can reach out and punch through walls. It's heavy. It's a pig. You're not going to be patrolling with it for too long, or if you are, it's in a backpack. It's got some power though. Now, sniper school, some of the ambiance, man, there is probably not a better time than I had in my career than sniper school, because we would work hard, train our ass off. Then we were going out in town with a group of guys. Man, there's nothing like going out with a group of SEALs to bars down in downtown Indianapolis, man. We were at the strip club, hanging out, man. You got the DD in the van and crazy in the back. And then you're coming in and do their stories. And, man, we were back at it that next day getting after it. Now, some of those guys, even older guys, who were, maybe partied too hard, man, some of them failed out, right? That's that piece. What's important to you? Man, and I had some close calls out there too. Just, could have gotten in trouble, could have gone sideways. Great times in retrospect, but also you're riding that lightning, riding the line, man. And that's the thing too. Special operations guys and guys in that community there, or risk management, man. We push the pace. You wouldn't be trying to do that job. So is this double-edged sword of the type of guy, and then some of the potentially destructive things that we do. And looking back, would it have been better to have been locked on? Yeah, I ended up passing. Things ended up working well, but they could have not, and they didn't for some guys. So just something to think about. Now, you live and learn, right? I learned the hard way. Ended up, people that know my story, things pick up. That karmic debt starts to stack, man, and then you start getting less universal gifts, graces, and fucking passes, and then it's time to learn the lesson. And I got fucking chopped, and that axe came down. But I still doesn't go back to the fact that sniper school was great. Even while we were there, the Indy 500 was going on. So the police force down there hooked up, some of the sniper instructors, they know some guys. Man, they took us into the infield with a police escort to the infield. There was like a Coors Light, like volleyball court and stuff. Interior, we were just drinking beer, having great time all day, man, in the center field of the Indy 500, man. Good times. And that's the stuff that you get to experience when you push that pace, when you push to those elite levels. You really get to experience some powerful things. You're not going to get those poignant moments sitting on the fucking couch, not taking risks, not putting out there, not working hard, right? You don't got to be in special forces or in special operations to experience some powerful moments. But I tell you what, if you're not pushing the pace, you're not walking into that fear, not walking into that fray, as we say, there's no powerful moments on the back end. There's no universal gifts, man. You're not going to experience any of that juice, that mojo, that blessing of knowing, man, you're pushing it. You're earning it, and you're in it. So, man, from a beautiful place in America, from the woods in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, wish everybody beautiful, epic Independence Day. Love y'all. Out here. Be smart.